Good morning, I'm Colby Thielen. Right now on News 9 at 6, several Guthrie students and a choir teacher are injured while coming back from a fundraiser at the OSU game. What we've learned about their recovery and the next steps in that crash investigation.
I'm Lacey Lowry. Multiple crashes in the metro over the weekend, including a deadly hit-and-run crash, as well as a crash that left a 16-year-old in critical condition. Here's a look at some of those crash scenes this morning. We have details on each of those coming up on News 9.
And I'm Robin Marsh. Fall arrives today. A chance of storms later tonight. We'll ask Lacey Swope about the timeline when it could come to the metro. It's next on 9.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
6 a.m. on our Monday morning. Good morning, Oklahoma. Thanks for choosing News 9. Hope you had a great weekend. Fall officially arrives this afternoon.
And so do the storm chances tonight.
Naturally, I wore flannel yesterday in preparation.
No, you didn't.
I sweated a little bit, but it was worth it. Gonna push through for the fall temperatures, Lacey.
We love fall. I think if you ask most folks, it's usually if you have a true fall, that's a lot of folks' favorite season. I heard from a lot of summer lovers yesterday, though. I was talking about yesterday being the final fall day of summer. The final day of summer, and those summer lovers were a little upset. I totally get it. Today, though, we're talking storm chances. We still have summertime temperatures in the forecast for today. Tomorrow is when we begin to see that fall feel. Here's a look at your visibility this morning. We have fog settling in. There's too many F's in this forecast today. From Ponca City, back up to Blackwell and Newkirk, Osage County, Bartlesville, back over to Arnett. Visibility at times less than a quarter of a mile. Has some light fog in the Oklahoma City metro. Had severe weather yesterday with rounds of storms over the past 3 days across Oklahoma, and more storms later this evening tonight. And some folks are waking up to rain this morning. That cold front to the north, that's what will drive the storm chances for tonight. Before it gets here, though, southern tip of Lake Eufaula down to Kiowa, all the way down to Lake Texoma, getting a few spotty showers. Those will keep pushing away and moving to the southeast. A little light haze and fog on our Mathis home cam. That's part of our Lucky Star Sky Cam network. It is 66. It's 65 in Stillwater, 63 in Woodward, 64 in Hobart. Some low 70s down in southern Oklahoma. And we all have a light south breeze where the breeze is more calm and the winds are really non-existent. Far western Oklahoma, you're getting some fog to settle in as well. Temps in the 60s, the mid 70s. Will reach the upper 80s today. Plan for a hot one. Get the kiddos ready for a hot forecast. 90s in southern Oklahoma. Then storm chances go up this evening into tonight. We'll talk about the threats for the storms. There's a wind, hail, and a tornado zone. I'll show you that low tornado threat. The timing statewide. Guys, more rain heading into tomorrow, even off and on through Wednesday. Your 9-day forecast is minutes away.
Lacey, thanks so much. Just be so careful out on the roadway. Several crashes. One man from Piedmont, we've learned, is killed after he crashes his car into a creek in Canadian County. It happened on Sunday. The Highway Patrol says Gary Warnke was heading west on Apache Street when he left the road, crashed through the fence, and then into the creek. The Highway Patrol is investigating.
Several Guthrie Public School students and a staff member were all injured in a head-on crash near Coyle late Friday night. News 9's Brianna Brown joins us live with an update on their injuries and the recovery process this morning. Brianna?
Yes, a Guthrie student and choir teacher hurt in a head-on crash are recovering after receiving treatment for their injuries. Now, they were the last to be released from the hospital after suffering injuries in a head-on crash Friday near Coyle. Now, according to authorities, 4 people, including the driver, were transported by ambulance with non-life-threatening injuries. In total, 6 students were in the SUV. The choir was returning from a fundraiser at the OSU game. Guthrie superintendent says he's thankful the crash wasn't worse.
You know, I could tell quickly that it was truly a miracle that nothing worse had happened.
The Oklahoma Highway Patrol is investigating this crash, and we're working to get more information on the other driver that was involved. Live in Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown, Oklahoma's own News 9.
All right, Brianna, thank you. And the superintendent, Dr. Simpson, says that he's been told the school is not at fault in that crash. He also tells us that is in line with reports from other witnesses. Today marks 2 weeks since multiple players and coaches from the Minko softball team were injured in that rollover bus crash. The team and head coach Cody Schmidt are now ready to tell their story of resilience. Make sure to tune in as they join Lacey and Robin later this morning on News 9 at 9 a.m.
Former state representative Richard Morissette passes away after a battle with cancer. He served in the Oklahoma House from 2004 all the way to 2016. He was also a frequent guest on our political segment, Your Vote Counts. Morissette was 69 years old. Former state representative Joe Dorman says Richard was a warrior for those who needed a champion, whether it was as an attorney or as a lawmaker. He adds that Morissette was a good man who will be missed.
State agents are investigating after a Mustang police officer is accused of assaulting a man in handcuffs.
The officer is facing one misdemeanor count of assault and battery. News 9's Jennifer Pierce has the story.
The alleged officer-involved assault happened last May. The Mustang police officer was charged 16 months later by the Canadian County District Attorney's Office. It's unclear when the OSBI was given the investigation, but court records show the assault and battery charge was filed on September 3rd. The affidavit stated Officer Michael Bobbitt and another officer were at the Mustang Police Department watching a man who was arrested at a motel for public intoxication. Court documents say the suspect was handcuffed and buckled in the back seat of the arresting officer's patrol car. The agent says the in-car camera was on when the suspect spit at the driver's side of the car. According to the documents, Bobbitt could be heard making a threatening remark to the suspect. The suspect allegedly spit at Bobbitt a second time. The investigator says the video shows Bobbitt reaching through an open window, hitting the suspect with an open hand across the left side of the man's face. The Mustang Police Department has not responded to our request for the video of the assault or to confirm Bobbitt's current employment status. A court date in Canadian County has not been set for Bobbitt. In Mustang, Jennifer Pierce, Oklahoma's own News 9.
We did reach out to the attorney for the man who is in handcuffs. We have not yet heard back.
As we head over to Megan Gold watching the roads for us. Megan, we are just now hearing there could be some type of commotion, a possible person hit by a car over near Northwest 10th and MacArthur. Our crews are almost there checking it out. But as we come to you, just wanted to give everyone a heads up about that.
Yeah, we will have more information on that as soon as we get our crews there on the scene. A quick look out the door right now. If you are headed southbound into Oklahoma City, Broadway extension to 235 looks good. No slowdowns there. Those of you coming in from the west at I-40 and Western for 607, it's pretty busy out on the roadways right now. Here's Northwest Expressway and Lake Hefner Parkway from our Integris camera. We do have two crashes on the map. Those are going to be down the southwest sides, and they're going to be off of major highways. So Southwest 44th and MacArthur, also Southwest 89th and May. Otherwise, roads are free of any accidents other than that one just mentioned. I'll have more on that here in just a few minutes as we get our crews there. Guys, back to you.
All right, Megan, thank you. You know, fall is prime season for hunting, for fishing, and, oh yeah, camping. Just getting out in the Oklahoma outdoors, and we want to show you some spots that you might not know about. Lacey is leading the way to Oklahoma's wildlife management areas.
So there's all kinds of obviously hunting and fishing opportunities. We also have wildlife viewing opportunities. There's hiking trails. We have areas that are open for equestrian use.
So we're going to show you that and so much more in our Oklahoma's own original Fall Adventures. You can see it tonight on the first night of fall at 7 p.m.
Yeah, something for everyone. And you were talking about, millions of acres that
the
are available.
wildlife management areas that Lacey Swope and her family went to. It's millions of acres of public land for Oklahomans to go use and enjoy. And a lot of people don't even know it's out there.
I can't wait to see it.
She takes us to go see those. Amanda Taylor takes her family to go hug some cows, which is the best video ever. And then Carl Torp went golfing.
Yeah, how do you get that assignment?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm going to go do some
Working.
fall adventures.
Yeah, he didn't take you, right?
No, yeah, they're like, hey, Corey, why don't you come golf with us? Psych, we're already there.
Yeah.
So, come on, guys.
It's going to be tonight right here on News 9. Lacey, we're really excited about it.
7 p.m. We're excited too. It really was so much fun. We hope that you learned something new. I learned a lot going up to Ponca City and the Newkirk area. It was one of the wildlife management areas that we highlighted. Now this morning in the Bob Mills Weather Center, we are watching a little fog settle on in. It's pretty dense up to the north, up near Newkirk and Blackwell and Ponca City. Light fog in the Oklahoma City metro, not impacting visibility. Sunrise is at 7:19. We'll see temps in the 60s to the low 70s. A beautiful morning, but rain and storm chances go up. This evening, tonight, there's a severe risk. We'll get to the timeline right after this break.
Welcome back. We want to get out to some breaking news. You are looking live. This is over on the northwest side of Oklahoma City, right near MacArthur and Northwest 10th Street. That is Northwest 10th where we're looking. And we did see one person just a moment ago being loaded into the back of the ambulance. Several people there. What we are told is a person was hit by a driver who had come through right near Northwest 10th and MacArthur. So there is someone in that ambulance right there. You can see several people, several law enforcement. And so this is going to cause a little bit of commotion on the drive in that area as well. We'll continue watching the details. Also, police say it was a woman who was in the road. They do think she was taking pictures or something, and then a car possibly backed into her. The driver of that car is cooperating. That just coming into the newsroom. Let's go over to Megan right now, kind of on the map. Megan, where is this going on?
Yeah, as you mentioned, Robin, Northwest 10th and MacArthur. This is going to be west of I-44 and north of I-40. Notice the cars were getting by, but if you could just avoid that area as law enforcement works that scene, that would be best. The address is 5833 Northwest 10th Street. That is, again, MacArthur and Northwest 10th over on the northwest side, just west of I-44 and north of I-40. Again, avoid that as that kind of continues to work, and we'll have more updates as that scene clears. Back over to you guys.
All right, time for the bus stop forecast. Be safe on the roads as the kids are headed to the bus stop to get picked up this morning.
It is Monday. It's back to the swing of things.
Yeah.
The alarm going off early.
Watch the school zones.
For sure. Take it nice and slow, and everyone have a great day. Weather-wise, it is quiet in Oklahoma this morning. We've got a couple showers to the southeast. It's going to be moving away from our viewing area, but we're watching it. And then it's late this evening and tonight, the storm chances go up, and possibly a few strong to severe storms. So 60s and 70s as you're heading out this afternoon. Upper 80s. Make sure the kiddos are dressed for another summer-like day, even though fall officially begins midday. Let's talk about fall and why we do have the seasons, okay? So if the kiddos are up this morning, take a look at your TV, a little bit of the science behind why we talk about the seasons changing. The Earth's axis is not just straight up and down. It's tilted 23.5 degrees. That is key. That is why we have weather, and that is why we have seasons. As the solar radiation hits Earth, it doesn't hit evenly, okay? There's always an imbalance due to that tilt.
As we make correct, so I don't have an.
I'm sorry. Were you talking to me?
No, I think Megan's mic's up.
Okay. I thought the producer said something. I was like, hold on a second. We're good. We're good. Okay, as the Earth makes its trek around the sun, we will see at different times that the northern hemisphere is either tilted towards or away the sun, giving us summer, winter, fall, and fall is when we're not tilted away or towards. We're actually kind of getting equal amounts of daylight, equal amounts of darkness. That exact moment when we are at equal is at 1:19 p.m. That is the equinox. So today at 1:19, all that to say, fall begins. It is a little fall-like in northern Oklahoma and in the northwest. Visibility in Ellis County down to a half mile due to fog blanketing the area. Thick fog up to the north as well. Ponca City, Newkirk, Blackwell, light fog across the metro. We've just had rounds of rain over the past 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, severe weather. And this morning, a few showers taking off, but our next stronger system is to our north. And we have several more rounds of rain and storms headed our way. Usually early fall, late September, October is our second severe weather season in Oklahoma, and that time is now. We do have a couple showers taking off now, basically from Lake Texoma up to Eufaula, pressing southeast. Your Lucky Star Sky Cam network, it is 66 in OKC, low 60s in the West Metro. It's a cool start versus 70s with cloud cover to the southeast. Winds are very light, and where they're calm, the fog is the thickest. And as we go through the day, 60s, 70s into the mid-upper 80s for highs. So here's a snapshot of about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Upper 80s, low 90s, some mid-90s in the southwest. So we get hot and unstable. And then as the storm system from the north approaches, a few of the storms that take off will have a chance to be severe. And I think more of a complex develops later in the day, later in the night, coming in from Kansas. What we're going to watch for initially is a few storms taking off in the west. So out in the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas. But as they make their way into our western counties, they look to weaken and fizzle. But we'll keep a 20% chance in. We'll watch for that scenario. The higher likelihood is storms coming in from the north into the late overnight hours between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. in the west. So while most folks are sleeping, from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. from the metro north, and then 5 to 8 a.m. off to the northeast. So trackers will be out tonight. Our weather team, we've shifted our schedules around. We'll be here tonight to keep you updated with those storms have the News 9 app with you. They look to be mainly wind and hail producers, some intense lightning, highest chances in the North Metro up into northern Oklahoma. We have a 40% chance of scattered showers and storms in the Metro, but the threat for severe weather right now is not as high. Now, that could change. These storms could keep pressing down towards Oklahoma City, but at the moment, those higher chances are basically Highway 33 northward. Between 50 to 60-mile-an-hour winds, few of the storms could crank out winds a little stronger than 70. Most of the storms will have nickel and dime size hail, maybe a few quarters. Very low risk, but at maximum, some golf balls would be possible. So if you can put the car in the garage before you go to bed, that's a safe bet. Another element is going to be the wind shear, which does increase into the late evening and overnight, which gives us a very low tornado risk. It's not zero. We will monitor it. Of course, overnight storms with a tornado threat. Just make sure you're prepared for that as you go to bed tonight. See where these storms are, and then make sure you have ways to wake up and get those warnings if they happen. Low chance right now. There's the big storm that's driving it coming over Montana, and it's slow moving. So tonight we're in the 60s and 70s. Tomorrow, before that front really slams in, we get to the 80s and 90s, hot and unstable. Then temperatures drop tomorrow afternoon, and more storms take off to the southeast. And for your Tuesday, be weather aware in southeast Oklahoma, a wind, hail, and a tornado threat. More storms Tuesday night into Wednesday midday, and a fall feel follows that cold front. Highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s. Coming up. Back to you guys.
Right now, 6:20 on our Monday morning, taking a look at some of the top national stories this morning. We can tell you 200,000 people gathered in Glendale, Arizona, saying goodbye to political activist Charlie Kirk. He was honored at a public memorial, which included an address by President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and even Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica. During her address, Erica Kirk said she forgives the man who's accused of assassinating her husband.
More protests over ABC's suspension of late-night host Jimmy Kimmel after his comments about Kirk's death. Advocates gathered outside the Times Square Disney store over the weekend, protesting what they claim was involvement from the Trump administration. The White House says the president played no part in the network's decision.
And new concerns this morning over job cuts after a Resume.org survey found that 6 in 10 companies plan to lay off workers next year. According to that report, economic uncertainty is the main reason for those job cuts. The most at risk, workers that are high earners and those lacking AI skills.
Breaking news this morning on the northwest side of the city. One person struck by a car. News 9's Kylie Dedman is live at Northwest 10th and MacArthur where it happened. Kylie, what have you learned?
Yeah, Lacey, as you can see, the scene has since cleared and traffic is not a problem at all on Northwest 10th Street at MacArthur Boulevard. But let me tell you what it was like just 5 minutes ago and what happened. So police were telling me that there was a lady in the road and was potentially taking pictures of cars that were parked up against a building. And that's when they believe a driver backed up into the lady. Now, when we arrived on scene, that lady was on the ground and she was loaded up into an ambulance and taken off to the hospital. Police were telling me that they don't think any severe injuries were involved, but she was getting checked out just to be on the safe side. They were also telling me that that driver was cooperating with police, but again, they were telling me that the lady was in the road and was appearing to be taking pictures of the cars that were at the building just right behind me. But again, as you can see, cars are moving. There is no traffic happening here at Northwest 10th Street at MacArthur Boulevard. Reporting live, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Kylie, thank you. Glad to hear it's back open there.
We're watching that weather for you. Outdoor forecast time right now. Lacey Swope in the house monitoring things for us. How are we doing outside, Lace?
It's looking good. We're dry in Oklahoma City, guys. We have more storm chances late this evening and tonight. A lot of the farm ponds, I'm getting some extra water, but check out this picture. This is Ethan, okay? And that is a huge largemouth bass.
Whoa.
Absolutely massive. Wow. In fact, they weighed this fish because, my goodness, look how big it is. He's having a tough time holding it up. Over 11 pounds.
Who is this? Ethan?
This is Ethan.
Oh my gosh.
Ethan Mandrell. Yeah, Did not get the county of where this is or where that farm pond is, and rightfully so, but are you kidding me? Congrats to you, big guy. That is an absolute whale. Now, we do have more storm chances. We're dry this morning in Oklahoma City. The storm threat goes up for late this evening and tonight. Some could be severe. I'll get you the timing of it. The wind, hail, and the tornado zone is coming up. We have more for you right after this break.
watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
Good morning. It is 6:30 on your Monday morning. Taking a live look at the Dallas Junction right now. Traffic certainly starting to pick up here on the Lucky Star Skycam network. We're going to talk with Megan about any issues you might be facing out there as you get your work week started. We're glad you're with us. Hope you had a great weekend as well.
Did you see the swirls?
Yeah,
If I could just watch those.
So pretty.
I know.
It really is.
Hypnotizing on a Monday
Just
morning.
be careful out there if you are heading out the door. Lacey's talking about some showers could be making its way to Oklahoma today. What's the timeline, Lace?
Well, we're watching for storms to develop late this evening to the north and west, arriving in central Oklahoma possibly between 2 and 4 or 5 a.m. So overnight tonight is going to be that threat for the metro. Earlier, though, to the north, skies are clear overhead, and we've had some fog settle in depending on your location. So you can see the metro is fog free. But let me show you a shot here of northern Oklahoma. This is Blackwell. This is I-35 up along the Oklahoma-Kansas border. And you can see the fog is a little bit more dense for folks traveling up through K County. We're watching that for you. In fact, the fog is pretty thick now from Cherokee over to Alva, back over to Bartlesville. We've had some light fog in Lincoln County, up the Turner Turnpike, and off and on. We've had fog in our western counties as well. Anywhere you look, it's not causing too many problems with visibility. We've had a couple new showers develop this morning, and that will continue, pressing to the southeast. What we're going to turn our attention to is what's going on through Nebraska, Kansas, and Colorado, and that cold front is headed to Oklahoma. It officially arrives midday tomorrow. It's going to impact northern Oklahoma first, much later this evening. There's the rain going on from basically Lake Texoma to Eufaula. Some spotty showers pushing east. We are dry across the metro, and temps are in the mid-60s. We have some low 60s in the west metro, upper 60s off to the east, some 70s down along the red. Winds are 5 to 10 miles per hour. They're very light, and today's going to be a hot one. Today is the first official day of fall. Fall begins at 1:19 p.m. It's going to feel summer-like still, 80s and some 90s, and then storm chances do go up this afternoon, and then especially heading into the overnight. We'll talk about the wind, hail, and your tornado zone coming up.
A 10-year-old is killed in a two-car crash in Grady County. We're going to move off of this. This is obviously a couple graphics gone wrong, but we want to show you this story. The Highway Patrol says it happened Saturday on Highway 152 near Minco. This is the video here. We're told the car went off the road, hit a bridge rail, and flipped. Troopers say the child was thrown from that car and died at the scene. We're also told the other two drivers were not injured. Meanwhile, a 16-year-old girl is rushed to the hospital, Lacey, after a rollover crash.
This one happened in southeast Oklahoma City. Police say the crash happened just before 11 p.m. on Friday at Southeast 89th and Shields. We're told the 16-year-old girl is in critical condition this morning. The cause of that crash is under investigation. And 3 people are injured in a crash on the northwest side of Oklahoma City. This one happened around midnight on Saturday near Britton and MacArthur. Police say the car ended up in a yard. Officers say one person went to the hospital in critical condition. The other 2 are expected to survive. Police tell News 9 they are investigating if the driver was under the influence. All right, your time now, 6:33. Meteorologist Megan Gold is watching the roads for us. How's this morning's commute, Megan?
Well, weather-wise, we're doing just fine. There is a little bit of fog that has developed, as Lacey mentioned. So for those of you traveling up the Turner Turnpike, also in far northern Oklahoma, I-35, just a heads up, maybe watch that speed in the distance between you and the car in front of you. This is Broadway Extension from our American Fidelity camera. We've captured a traffic stop there. So just a reminder, reduce the speed, drive the speed limit, be safe as you hit the Oklahoma roads this morning. Out on the east side, those of you that travel to Tinker, I-40 is clear of any accidents. Traffic moving along nicely there and really all across the metro from the west to the north and back off to the east sides. Good to go. Your drive times look like this. There is downtown looking gorgeous right now. Good to go from all directions. Guys, back to you.
The Oklahoma Corporation Commission is investigating a saltwater leak down in Caddo County. This is near Eakley, and it could be putting cattle and wildlife at risk. It was back in August. Local ranchers noticed dead fish in 5 Mile Creek, and then last week, dozens of dead cattle. Ranchers tell News 9 they saw salt water coming up from the ground and then spilling into the creek. One rancher tells us he's lost 28 head of cattle so far, with at least 10 more showing signs of illness.
It's devastating, you know, just not only financially, but to see the cattle suffer. to the impact that they've suffered.
And the Oklahoma Corporation Commission says it is diverting the contaminated water from the creek and pumping it into tankers for disposal as the investigation into that original spill continues.
An Oklahoma City tire shop owner says he feels ripped off, claiming that a man has stolen thousands of dollars worth of tires from multiple shops across the state. Jeff Webster says the man hit 3 of his Take 10 tire and service shops and tried to hit a 4th. He says that suspect usually wears a vest, a safety vest, and comes in saying he's a trucking company owner or an employee that needs to pick up truck tires.
Just come in, act like he knows exactly what he's doing. I need a drive tire or a steer tire or a pair of them.
Yeah, and then takes off with them. Webster says that he's sharing his story to warn other tire shops around the state.
Some Metro children get a big surprise as Thunder Center Isaiah Hartenstein shows up to shop with them. Each child received $300 from the Hartenstein Foundation to pick out new gear at Dick's House of Sport.
Yeah.
How cool. Isaiah says he is so very happy to support children all across Oklahoma City.
I think just coming back for the first day, just kind of wanted to give back, have fun with the kids, and just give them something cool.
Isaiah says his foundation has many more events planned for this year. He's always loved interacting with children. Now that he's a dad, I think he enjoys it even more.
Changes
he's
you,
like,
doesn't it?
sign me up for these events.
And the kids are like, make a memory.
What is he, 7 foot?
Yeah.
I mean,
Close
can
to
you
it, yeah.
imagine?
Oh, no.
A true giant shopping with you.
You're able to spot him across the store.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's my lucky day. Guess who's here, right? I love it.
A month from yesterday is the first game.
Oh, that's right.
So
Yeah.
a month from
Oh, my
yesterday,
God.
October 21st.
Yeah.
So they're all coming back to OKC after some probably well-earned summer vacations,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Oh, man. Okay, we're watching Fall Begins today, Lacey, and we're excited about it.
1:19 p.m. That is the first official start of the fall season. Today's going to feel a little summer-like. Summertime heat continues. 80s, 90s. This morning, we're watching some thunderstorms develop off to the east. You can see that on our SSM Health Cam. Those aren't mountains here in Oklahoma. That's the cloud cover. Breaking daylight on your Monday. We're headed to 89, and then severe storm threats. They go up late this evening tonight. We'll talk about the timing statewide coming up.
Other headlines, budget troubles forcing Oklahoma's mental health department to scale back services. Coming up, a meeting with the governor today. What that may mean for providers statewide, we're talking about it.
Plus, the McLean County community is stepping up for one of its deputies whose house was allegedly intentionally set on fire. How a rodeo helped them raise money to rebuild. All right, first day of fall. Well, I should say almost half of first day of fall.
Yeah.
Coming up at 1:19 today.
Starts.
Still summer for a few more hours, right?
So go out and celebrate. I'm going to celebrate fall at 1:19 with a nap.
There you go.
Fall right into bed.
My nap time.
Falling back into the bed, going to sleep, right?
We hope everyone will join us today at 7. Wake up, 7 p.m. at on News 9. We are going to have our fall getaway special. Just kind of showing you fun things that you can do across Oklahoma with your family as the leaves start to change, as it starts to get a little bit cooler. And we've got a lot of cool things that we're going to be bringing you. One of them is my family and I went up to Newkirk, to Ponca City, that area up in Kay County, to a wildlife management area. It's called a WMA. These are areas that are managed by the Wildlife Department for hunting, fishing, archery. There's so many great facilities for getting into archery hunting, for just shooting. The gun ranges are amazing. Or taking the kiddos to catch a fish. My son is absolutely ate up with putting worms on a hook, holding the worm, catching the bugs. We talked to some very special scientists and biologists from the Wildlife Department and learned about what Oklahoma has to offer in the outdoors. There's so many things just to get out and get some sunshine, stretch your legs, and there's... My husband did not go. My husband held down the fort at home. We didn't allow him to come. We said, no, we're going to have fun.
Like, where's Tyler?
You stay home. You stay home. I don't know. He had something. I couldn't tell you what he had going on when we headed up there.
Y'all had fun.
But it was a blast. We had a blast. We hope you'll join us and other News 9ers today at 7 p.m. right here on News 9. This morning, as you look out on the eastern horizon, traffic coming in on I-40, and you can see that it is starting to pile up there as the morning commute is underway. And on the eastern horizon, you can also see some thunderstorms going on off to the east. In northern Oklahoma, speaking of Kay County, some pretty thick fog will greet you out the door. And then skies are clear here in OKC. This is our Lucky Star Sky Cam network. we're in the mid-upper 60s for your Monday. There's the fog, and it's pretty thick from Woodward to Fort Supply to Cherokee, Alva, Ponca, Medford, all the way back over to Bartlesville. We've had some fog over near Stroud and Chandler, and also back along the Oklahoma-Texas Panhandle border. We've had some fog this morning. Thunderstorms continue to kind of develop and press to the southeast with this first storm system. That's what impacted you for the weekend. Rounds of rain and storms for some. The next storm is right here. You see the wave coming in over Idaho and Montana. That is pushing to the southeast, and it's going to bring us a few more rounds of storms, and it begins tonight. And some of the storms tonight, they could be severe. Yes, fall is beginning, but for Oklahoma weather, that usually means the kickoff to our second severe weather season. And we're going to watch for that tonight and again tomorrow. There goes the rain this morning. Here comes the cold front from the northwest. A couple showers going on down near Reagan, south of Reagan, also east of Kiowa, over towards Eufaula. And as you look off onto that eastern horizon, that's what we were seeing on our SSM health cam. You can see lower mid 60s, some 70s to the southeast. A cool start, a pleasant start with light winds, and today turns into a warm to a hot day. Dew point values in the 60s and 70s, which means it's muggy. We're headed to 89 degrees, so make sure you're prepared for more of a summer-like day. 90s in southern Oklahoma, and the timing of the storms, the timing of the cold front, just keep getting a little bit later. So here's the latest at 6:45 on your Monday. A slight chance for thunderstorms in western Oklahoma. Rain develops in the Oklahoma and Texas Panhandle. Now, while it tries to push into the west, it starts to fizzle. The higher chance for storms will be with a complex developing in Kansas. We'll kind of blanket the area along and north of I-40 for a wind, hail, and a low tornado threat. I'll show you that in a second. Here's the latest timing between 11 and 2 from Oklahoma City north and west. Now, this can still change, so watch the forecast through the day. David and the team will have updates for you. Between 2 a.m. and 5 for the Oklahoma City Metro. This is overnight into early tomorrow morning. 5 to 8 off to the east. Trackers will be greeting these storms. They will be out overnight. If they become severe, we'll bring you updates. A 40 to a 60% chance. Notice that higher chance is just north of the metro, across northern Oklahoma, lesser chance to the south. The wind threat will be there tonight, 50 to 60 mile-an-hour winds. Some storms could produce winds over 65 and 70. The hail threat, not one of our highest threats. The instability is not all that high overnight. High enough for nickel dime quarter, maybe up to golf ball size hail. And we'll have to watch for these storms to have a tendency to rotate. Now, in the low levels, it's not locked in. This is not a classic tornado setup, but the low level wind shear is favorable for these storms to spin, and it wouldn't take much to get a brief tornado. So trackers, again, will be under these. We'll update you overnight. The News 9 app is great. If we need to, we'll be on air, on the TV, on the apps. It's hard to not find us if storms start to become strong to severe to possibly tornadic. Overnight tonight, 60s and 70s is what we're expecting. Then that front moves through tomorrow midday. We'll be in the 70s by the late afternoon tomorrow. But ahead of that front, more storms for your Tuesday, and some of those storms could be severe. We're going to lock and reload for your Wednesday morning, possibly Wednesday afternoon in the state. Highs in the 70s, though, behind this front. So no more 80s and 90s. We're going to be in the 70s for a couple of days. Lows in the mid-50s. Guys, back to you.
Oklahoma City police tell News 9 they are looking for the driver who hit a person early Sunday morning and left right at Southeast 44th and High. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital where he later died. His name has not been released, and at this point, no information even on the possible car that hit that man. We are continuing to ask those questions. And now, tragic story from Hugo, Oklahoma. A tiger kills a man at a wildlife preserve in southeast Oklahoma. The Choctaw County Sheriff says animal handler Ryan Easley, seen here, was performing an act with the tiger at the Growler Pines Tiger Preserve when the tiger turned on the man. The preserve has canceled all tours and encounters. An investigation is underway.
The Oklahoma Highway Patrol is now asking for help finding a missing man. OHP says Darren DeVitt was last seen in Norman. This was last Monday, a week from today. We're told that he's mentally ill and has not taken his medication. Troopers describe him as 5'7", 230 pounds with gray hair and brown eyes. Here's his picture. Take a look. If you see him, you're asked to call 911. And today marks 2 weeks since multiple players and coaches from the Minko softball team were injured in a bus crash. The team and the head coach, Cody Schmidt, are now ready to tell their story of resilience. Be sure to tune in this morning at 9 a.m. They're sitting down, the entire team, with Robin and Lacey. You don't want to miss that. It's coming up at 9.
Your time now, 6:48. Meteorologist Megan Gold is watching the roads for us and the commute. How are we looking, Megan?
Well, really busy for 6:45 here on your Monday morning. A lot of folks out and about. We do have our Lex Stanfield on 235 ready to respond to any accidents, but so far this morning we've been okay. I do want to show you several other shots. We'll kind of bounce around from our Dallas Junction. Look at all the folks coming in from the south right now, I-35 at I-40. And I do just want to mention, for those of you in northern Oklahoma, I know Lacey has hit on this several times this morning, but visibility is reduced down to about 1/4 of a mile in spots. There's a dense fog advisory in effect up to the north. Here's Broadway Extension. If you're coming into Oklahoma City from the north side, good to go. Getting busy down on the south side at I-35, just typical morning rush hour slowdowns. And we do have a crash, Memorial in Portland. So just a heads up for you there in the northbound lanes of I-35. Little slow going, as you would imagine, as the morning drive picks up, but overall doing okay, guys. Back to you.
The interim commissioner of the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services meets today with Governor Kevin Stitt to go over the agency's budget request for the next fiscal year. The agency facing a $43 million budget shortfall. The department has dealt with financial chaos for a long time, and the interim commissioner, Greg Slavonic, is now making some tough decisions on where to cut costs and save millions of dollars. Part of that was reducing or eliminating 300 of the 800 contracts between the state and service providers.
And I told the providers when I met with them that this is going to be a painful process. I told the legislators that, and so there shouldn't be any surprises.
All of the cuts take effect October 1st.
Well, in McLean County, the rodeo community comes out in big-time support for a deputy and his family.
Last month, their home was destroyed after investigators say a suspect lit it on fire while they were sleeping. News 9's Stephanie Minichi has the story.
15-103-15. Horses raced against the clock Sunday afternoon. Competitors on their backs going for a win to help out McLean County Deputy Bo Hamilton and his family.
It is a very tragic event that happened to one of our officers in town, and I'm just glad to be able to give back.
When I heard the news, it was just like somebody, stick a knife in your back. It was just excruciating.
Katie and Rory Jett organized the barrel race.
It touches your heart, and it's pretty heartbreaking to see something like that happen to one of your own, because we are like a family here.
Sheriff Landy Offolter says Hamilton's car was burglarized the night before the arson, but the suspect was arrested and then released from tribal custody.
The charges were not filed, and he came back the next night and set everything on fire.
It was just tragic, just sorrow. How could somebody do this to him?
Jett says when she heard the news, she contacted the sheriff's office to see what they could do. She and her husband Rory matched anyone giving $5,000 in Sunday's fundraiser.
So my husband gave $5,000, and so did Seth Wadley. I think that it's so important that whatever your community is, that we give back to it.
Stephanie Minichi, Oklahoma's own News 9.
And federal charges have since been filed against the arson suspect, Austin Garrett Reeves. We'll be following the outcome of that case. We're back right after this.
Coming up on the Coca-Cola porch, Molly Spencer Farm in Yukon is hosting a free Monarch Butterfly Festival. Hey, we get a preview. It's coming up at 9 a.m.
A minor league baseball game gets an unusual delay when a goose walks out on the field. There he is. The goose seemed to be minding its own business and just kind of hanging out in the outfield and didn't really go after anyone, but it seems like he was okay. They finally got him out. He wasn't harmed, but he's like, I think I'm just going to kind of hang out here in the outfield.
Use your wings, dude. Take off.
Still gonna have all the attention. With geese. I couldn't go near it. The geese attacked me for whatever reason.
They'll hiss at you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All types of stuff.
Yeah.
Just like,
be careful.
Let's just get together, man. Have a long neck. Mend our bridges.
You got some beef with the geese. Beef with the geese. I love it. All right, how are we looking this morning, Lace?
They've been flying in a lot, by the way. The Canada geese, don't say Canadian, they're Canada geese.
Yeah.
They have been flying over. You'll notice that as the seasons are changing. Fall begins at 1:19 today. We got a little fog, guys, that'll greet you depending on where you're located. We'll see upper 80s, and then severe storm chances go up tonight.
All right. See you at 7:26.
Make it a good day.